Welcome to this workshop on building future-proof business models. My name is Sabine Janssen and I'm an innovation project leader at the Service Science Factory. Today would be successful if you walk away feeling triggered to exploit and explore, feeling triggered to assess the disruption risk to your current business models, and feeling triggered to explore more in order to identify new opportunity spaces and to proactively build a future-proof business. What can you expect from today's workshop? I will give you a practical roadmap to build future-proof business models in which we acknowledge the importance of discovery. And I will give you some tips how you can train your discovery muscle. Before we get started, let's take a moment and think of all the different business sectors that have been disrupted in the last years. I'm sure a few of these have come to your mind, like WhatsApp, disrupting the industry of telecommunication and messaging, Amazon, that disrupted the offline retail experience by introducing cashless checking out of the retail experience, Uber, that transformed an asset-heavy industry and introduced an asset-light business model, taking over the whole taxi industry. And then we have Netflix and Spotify, who have changed the business model in the entertainment and music business. Where we used to go out and buy CDs, now it's not longer about owning the product, but paying a fee and have continuous access to a whole variety of the music that you want to hear in that moment, just one click away. So these game changers have changed our reality, the world that we live in. They have pushed the boundaries and created a new normal for us. They also have disrupted big established players that felt the industry was theirs, that felt that they were safe and no one could beat them. So think twice. Thinking about all these sectors that have been disrupted, what about the business sectors that are bound to be disrupted? Take a short moment to think what sectors you think will be disrupted soon. There are various sectors also already undergoing a change at this point in time. The healthcare sector, where e-health, wearables, being in control of your own health, and the health moving from the hospitals to your own home, disrupted in many ways. So there we see a big change. Also in education and banking. In the banking industry, a lot of fintech startups have been changing the rules of the game. And the big banks are also now looking for partnerships with fintechs. The big banks are also now going through accelerator programs, building up innovation labs themselves in order to push the boundaries and to disrupt their own industry. So that also makes us think, what about your industry? Do you feel the threat of disruption in your own industry? Do you measure, assess, and proactively look into the future to identify these risks of disruption? Do you fortify your business model in order to fight the risk of disruption, the risk of dying, that your business model becomes obsolete? So on this journey to build future-proof business models, it all starts with the aspiration. The aspiration basically is the vision for your company, the company you want to become. In this aspiration, you also outline the impact that you want to make. This can be financial, but this can also be non-financial impact measures. In the last decade, a lot of big established corporations have been rethinking the core of their business. They have purposely formulated new aspirations, looking forward, making a big impact, sustainability-wise, but also profit-wise. You now see very bold aspirations like doubling the revenue in 5 years and being the sustainability leader within the industry, or doubling profits, 0 emission. So these bold aspirations dictate the whole company that you cannot keep doing the business as you are doing the business right now. It inspires, motivates the people in your organization to be explorative, to rethink how we do business, to push the boundaries, and to design the next level business models. So also check for your own company, how bold is the aspiration that you have? And how aware and engaged are the people in your organization with this aspiration? Amazon also has a great aspiration. They want to be the most customer-centric company on the planet. They give themselves the task to remain market leader, to stay and remain market leader. So that means that they constantly push the boundaries, the industry standards themselves, that they constantly push the boundaries. It also means that they sacrifice short-term profits for the long-term horizon. And on the way to success, they know that experimentation is the only way forward. So they have a huge portfolio of possible opportunity spaces to move into. And by testing their way forward, they de-risk the level of innovation, and they get a few big bets, a few big wins out of their portfolio of innovation. On the way, they embrace failing as essential to the success of innovation. So without small failures, you will not get the big wins. So they also celebrate failure. And they promote people for highlighting innovation risks in new innovative opportunities. So also think about that and how these things are organized in your own organization. So on the road to build future-proof business models, once we have set this bold aspiration, we start on the journey of discovery. The journey of discovery leads us to a collection of new opportunity spaces to delve into. Discovery is about both exploitation and exploration. Exploitation is more about the current business and improving that, more on a continuous improvement basis. Whereas exploration is more disruptive. It's also looking to expand the business in a radical way. It's also looking for new market opportunities to delve into. In today's world that we live in, it's no longer sufficient to only exploit. You need to do both exploitation and exploration in order to survive in today's business. The world's thriving businesses at this moment see these two aspects as partners in the journey to move forward, to both solidify and strengthen the current business and simultaneously challenge themselves to look for new market opportunities, to be proactive, to look for latent needs, to empathize with customers, and to continuously push the boundaries to be the disruptor and not the one that is disrupted. So exploration is key to the survival, the long-term survival of your company. In times of crisis, your business model is often put to the test. But in times of crisis, you can also see that some companies thrive. They adapt very quickly their business model to the changing needs, dynamics in the market. Here you can also see the importance of adaptability. Some of these companies might even have anticipated certain risks that we now experience in this COVID-19 situation. The pressure on the offline retail could be circumvented by having a very strong online retail channel, for example, as well. So companies that assess the risks and have also a strong backup plan, those are the ones that are better equipped to deal with uncertainty, with new situations. I also would like to delve into the example of Louis Vuitton. In the COVID-19 situation that put a lot of pressure on the healthcare system and government to provide the healthcare professionals with sanitizers, hand sanitizers, Louis Vuitton jumped in and they changed their perfume and cosmetic line factories overnight to start producing hand sanitizers. They provided these hand sanitizers for free to the healthcare system in France, thereby hugely unburdening the healthcare system and the French government. It is about sensing the opportunity in order to create real impact. It is about the power to adapt your business model so fast. And it is this discovery power to spot opportunity, to create value, stay relevant, and being adaptive that is a muscle to train and to continuously strengthen. In the discovery journey, we want to understand the playing field. We want to look both internally, the strengths and weaknesses of our business models, and we want to look externally for trends, new technology, business model innovation that could inspire us. We benchmark within the industry and beyond, opportunities and threats to your business model. In order to understand the playing field, we also want to empathize with the customers. And this is not a one-time endeavor. We want to keep empathizing as also the needs of the customers change over time. Thirdly, as mentioned before, it is so important to not only explore within the boundaries of your industry, as the boundaries of industries are disappearing. It is more and more important to look beyond the industry boundaries for trends, opportunities, but also threats. Amazon now entering numerous markets where they were not active in before. They might also take over the banking industry. So also be aware of all these opportunities, trends, and threats beyond your industry. By understanding the playing field, you understand what's happening around you. You assess the disruption risk to your current business, but you also identify new opportunity spaces to expand the current business. So at the end of the discovery phase, you have a set of new opportunity spaces to delve into. You can use the framework, as shown on this page, to map these opportunity spaces. The graph has two axes. We have on the vertical axis the financial potential of the opportunity space or the impact. The more upward you position the opportunity space, the more promising, the more high potential you deem this opportunity space to be. On the horizontal axis, we have the evidence of success or the risk of innovation. The more we move to the right, the more confident we are in the success of this opportunity space. The more we move to the right, the lower the risk of innovation is that we deem. Risk of innovation comes in 4 types. It can be that the customer is not interested in your offering, so that is the desirability. Can be the risk that we cannot deliver, the risk of feasibility. Can be the risk that we don't earn enough money with this new business idea, so that is the risk of viability. Or it can be the risk that the business model won't work in reality. So that is also known as viability or adaptability, I mean. So is your business model able to perform also in the real world? So at the end of the discovery phase, you map your opportunity spaces in this map. The new opportunity spaces that can expand the business that you're in. It's not to say that you should only focus on the opportunity spaces in the top right quadrant, the rising star quadrant. You could also choose to focus on a promising concept. And by testing the idea, you could gather more evidence of success, grow your confidence in the success of this opportunity space. So then the opportunity space would move more to the right and become a rising star. You could also focus on an opportunity space in the safe play quadrant on the bottom right. By looking at, okay, how could you turn the business idea into an idea with a bigger potential, you could move this opportunity space also to become a rising star. So you can move both ways in this framework. So it is both a mapping framework, but it also is an action framework. It helps you to set the focus on the opportunity spaces that you believe most in, and it then provides you with an action route. So what do you need to do? You always want to test your business model. So don't start writing an elaborate business plan for your opportunity space. The first thing you want to do is to test it and to gather more evidence of success. So far for the exploration part of the discovery. Let's also look at the exploit part. So in your discovery journey, you have also looked at the current business initiatives that you have, the strengths and weaknesses in those business models, but also the opportunities and threats in that business model. So also here, you can use the right-hand framework, the framework on the right, to map the current business initiatives. The two axes of this framework are, on the vertical side, we have the financial potential, future impact, and we have on the horizontal axis the disruption risk, which is low on the right and very high on the left. So once you start plotting your current business initiatives in this framework, this also allows you to act accordingly. So you can try to move the profit engines that are at risk again to the top right quadrant, to profit engine, by reducing the disruption risk, by strengthening the current business model, or by eliminating threats. So also this is a very important exercise for you to assess the disruption risk to your current business initiatives. Because once you are aware, you can act accordingly. So these are two very important outcomes of the discovery phase. By doing this, we set the focus on where to invest our resources and focus in the next time to come. So this basically defines where to play. The next step is then also how to play the game and how to win. This is where the business model comes in. Business model design is important at every step in your innovation journey. Whether you start with a brand new opportunity space or whether you continue to fortify and protect a current existing business model. So let's dive into the business model. The business model consists out of 9 building blocks. Together, they work around value creation, value delivery, and value capturing. These are the 3 key elements of the business model. The top right, where we talk about creating value, this is about the desirability. Do customers want the products and services, the value offering that you put out there? If there is no desirability, that is your first big test that you have to do to make sure that you have a market for the solutions that you offer. Secondly, the top left quadrant is about feasibility. Can you deliver the value that you promise your customer? And can you deliver the value at scale? The bottom part of the business model canvas is about capturing the value. Can we earn money with the business idea? Can we earn enough money with the business idea? Let's further zoom into the exercise of business model building. So here again, you see the 3 quadrants of the business model. Where we were just talking about desirability, feasibility, and viability, we are now looking at 3 different kinds of disruption. Front stage disruption, top right, backstage disruption, and the profit formula disruption at the bottom. So the questions that are posted here are exemplary questions for you to disrupt your own business model. How can you tap into an underserved market that has large potential? That is what Dyson did, focusing on the premium segment in the vacuum cleaning business. They have a superior product based on technology, and they have the right channels in place to reach this premium segment. Backstage disruption is, what could you do differently to scale your business without amplifying the cost? That is, for example, what Didi, the counterpart of Uber in China, did. They looked at how can, in this asset-heavy industry of cabs, how can you scale at large without the heavy burden of the cost? That is where this shift that you can, this trend that you can observe, asset heavy to asset light and platform thinking, comes together in these examples of Uber and Didi. Looking at the profit formula, you can ask yourself the question, how can you kill costs? So this is what Citizen M did. Citizen M, before they entered the hotel industry, they looked at, okay, what are the major cost factors in the hotel business? It's construction and it's labor cost. So they designed a great way to kill the cost on both factors without sacrificing the satisfaction of customers. So they standardized the hotel rooms and they prefabricated the hotel rooms for 99%. And then they just have to build them on top of each other to construct a hotel. For the labor costs, they also looked at, okay, what factors contribute to the high cost? Room service, dining. These are all costs that add a lot to the labor cost. However, the target segment that they are targeting, the Citizen M, the business or private traveler that wants to visit for just a few days, and they want to use the hotel mainly to get a good night's sleep, they don't need these frills. So they eliminated these services. Thereby, they were able to keep costs low. In addition, they were able to have the highest occupancy rate in the industry and have very high customer satisfaction results because they invested in the right people and they could provide the hotel room for a good price for the Citizen M target group. So this is a great example of a company that set themselves this wicked challenge. How can we lower costs tremendously at the same time raising customer satisfaction? On the other hand of the profit formula disruption building block, we can also look at unlocking new revenue streams. Hilti is a great example here. Their business used to be to sell equipment to construction builders. Now, their service is to make sure that the right product is at the right time, at the right place, enabling construction sites to work with less downtime, to have always the right machinery on site at the moment that they need it. So from transactional selling, where competition is very high, they moved to this service provision, where they outcompete their competitors, where they strengthen and fortify their relationship with their customers, where they become a partner to their customer. And this business model is also crisis-proof, where normally in a situation of crisis, their customers would stop buying their machinery. Now they keep using the service of Hilti also in times of crisis, because it's not a one-time big amount that they need to pay, but it is you pay when you need the machinery. So moving from selling products to selling services to becoming a partner, a true partner to your customer. That is how Hilti disrupted the profit formula, where they now make much more money from this service business, where they fortified their sustainable competitive advantage, and where their customers buy or rent much more machines than they normally would buy. So it also expanded their business. So also for you, try to think of a master plan to build future-proof business models. Work with the steps provided before and the guiding questions to the business model on the previous page, and challenge your business model. So let's do a brief recap. What are the steps to help you to build future-proof business models? The 5 steps that we went through is to set a bold aspiration that inspires and motivates people to explore, look for new market opportunities. And the 2 frameworks help you to select the opportunity spaces to focus on, and also what current business initiatives are under high pressure of disruption risk, and what business initiatives are under low pressure of disruption risk, so that you also can act accordingly to fortify, strengthen, or protect those current business initiatives. This is the basis for you to start building future-proof business models. This is where the 3 elements of front stage, backstage, and profit formula disruption come in. And finally, the importance of testing and de-risking your innovation endeavors is very important, which allows you to scale up the successful innovations and the successful business models that you build. Supporting these 5 steps to help you to strengthen and reach your goal of building future-proof business models is also to engage the people in the right way and to provide the right conditions for the people in your organization to flourish and do well. That they have the time to discover, empathize with the customers. That you provide focus on both exploitation and exploration. That you provide the people with the right mindset, skills and tools and competences to train their discovery muscle and to be adaptable as a business. Also, what supports the building of future-proof business models is to embrace failure. So experimentation is the only way forward. And with experimentation, also failure is very important. Important on the journey of learning, important on the journey of selecting the best ideas. Secondly, also the challenges. Let's look at those. What are the challenges, the obstacles that hinder you in building future-proof business models? If you only look within the boundaries of your industry, that will be an obstacle for you to identify trends, to be inspired from business model innovations in other industries that would also help you on your way to innovate your business model. And the worst thing that you can do is to think, okay, I'm safe, I feel safe, I'm doing great, my business is thriving, I don't feel the risk of disruption. So think again. The worst thing that you can do is to feel safe. So on this road to success, what is key? Besides innovation practice, all the different steps that we have been talking about so far, it is also so important that there is the right innovation leadership and the right culture in your organization to support innovation practice. So as a leader in innovation, you should highlight the focus, provide the resources, provide the necessary conditions for the organization to engage successfully in innovation practice. Exploration should not be a job on the side, something that you can only do 5 hours per week. There should be a real focus on both exploitation and exploration. And it's so important to keep empathizing with your key customers. In the culture, I hope that you also see the importance of embracing failure as your way forward. So on behalf of myself and the whole team of the Service Science Factory UMIO, we wish you a very good journey, a good start or continuation of your journey to build future-proof business models. And the last tip that we want to give you is to really think of dedicating your focus and resources to do this, building future-proof business models on a continuous basis, which means discovery on a continuous basis, assessing the opportunity spaces and disruption risk spaces on a continuous basis, and to keep testing your business models. And this is the only way to build future-proof business models. I would like to thank you for your attention, and I wish you a great day. If you have any questions or remarks, we would be happy to hear from you. So here you can find my contact details, and also if you are interested to see what we could do for you to help you to future-proof your business model, please reach out to us. Thank you.